bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state.
It's the Retro Philosophy Show. Go on and tell everybody you know. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lottie Dottie. I'm in with Retro.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man. Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man, Retro, stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Let's go, let's go. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. You know, let's go. Tell them already we're good, tell them again, them again. Tell them already we're good, tell them again, them again. Conquerors, we're more than conquerors. Wow, wow. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. We are conquerors. Wow, wow. More than conquerors. Retro. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. Tell them we are good, tell them again. We are conquerors. Wow, wow. More than conquerors. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. Tell them already we are good, tell them again. We are conquerors. More than conquerors.
Okay, I got another solo. He on the right. I got Retro on the left. I'm telling you now, man. You know he better sit out. Okay, we ready. Go.
We have a community that we have to take care of. We have kids that are depending on us. I call them my scholars. I call them future leaders. They are. But I know, don't forget where you were raised. Be proud of where you come from and give back. It seems more family in Riverview Gardens. It would just be wonderful for people to get some of those jobs and help us get scholars where they need. On the horizon, learning is required.
Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast. Man, make no mistake, we are conquerors. More than conquerors.
Let's make some Look here, man. We're gonna jump right on into it, man. It's a little after 10 o'clock on what's today? Tuesday. Today is Tuesday morning. December. I don't know. No, it ain't even December yet. We're still in November. We're still in November. 28th, I think, something like that. I don't know. The days are flying and they're just where did the year go, guys? Where did the year go? We're talking miles. Do miles really matter? Do miles really matter? Depending on who you speak to, depending on who you talk to, will determine the answer that you get. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody included Lottie Dottie, I need you to make some noise for the most hated Kodak, the ground pounders in the building. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen, for Kodak, the ground pounder. You already know what it is. All right, good morning, good morning. And who else to have on the live watching this morning than Kodak? I believe he is fitting for such a topic. And if you were to ask Kodak, is he riding? He would tell you that riding season is over. And that's another question that we'll dive into as well. When is the riding season over? Does the riding season end? And and again, depending on who you talk to, will determine the answer that you receive. I'm just saying. I often say that the weather does not dictate whether or not we ride, but the gear we wear when we ride. And with that said and done, you've got to understand that there are rules to this thing. There are levels to this thing, and there are some rules that trump other rules. There are some rules that just outweigh other rules. Okay, now let's look at what I just said. Okay, the weather, rain. Well, I guess should I say snow? I'm no longer in a state that receives a whole lot of snow. Okay, they don't. No, they don't because bike season is over. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Miles don't matter at this particular time, according to Kodak the Ground Pounder, because the riding season, ladies and gentlemen, is officially over. Yeah, it's officially over. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, so anyway, so 980-222-4492, that is the number that connects you to me and me to you and all that good stuff. But okay, so there are some rules that trump other rules. There are some rules that outweigh other rules, and I'll just without any further ado, safety first and first safety. Yeah. Safety first and first safety. Now, I'm no longer, Kodak says snow is definitely a no go. Okay. Now, I have ridden in the snow before, and it was not by chance. It just happened. Okay. It was a cold winter I don't think it was morning, it was evening. And I was out riding, and it started snowing on me. Now, to be honest and transparent, it was not a nor'easter. It was not a major snowstorm that I was riding in. And there was minimal accumulation. Okay. But it was snow and it was on the ground. Okay. Now, I am for 2024. There's quite a few things I'm going to be doing in 2024, and we're going to talk about some things that will make a little bit more sense. But in 2024, I'm making an endeavor to ride 365. Yeah, this is called the 365 Endeavor. Okay, the 365 Endeavor. Okay, hashtag 365 Endeavor, and so I will ride every single day of 2024. Okay, and I ride year round as it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for Nelson in the building. He says, not over me up in New Jersey, we ride year round. Now that brother right there, look at here, man. Honor Bound Motorcycle Ministry out of New Jersey. Nelson in particular. This brother, I love riding with him. Yo, Nelson, fam, I love riding with you, man. This dude rides his motorcycle. Okay. And when I connect with my brother, man, it's just we own the highway. New Jersey, New York, it don't matter. I'm telling you, I love riding with this dude, man. But he says year round, and he's in New Jersey. So you already know that's up north, and so they get some cold weather, snow and all that good stuff. But it's not over for Nelson Ortiz because he rides year round. Okay. Now we want to be safe. I ride in snow before I will ice storms. But anyway, let me get back to some of the stuff I was talking about. 2024 will be a 365 endeavor. And so I'll ride every single day of the year, and the weather will not dictate whether or not I ride. It will only dictate the gear that I wear when I ride. Okay. I'm after some things in 2024, and some personal things. I'm at a point in my life, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, where I have become extremely. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can say it this way, because I need for you to understand. I am extremely comfortable in my skin. Yeah, you know what? The me that I is ain't too bad. I wish I could get some help. You may not think, you may not agree, but that doesn't matter. Okay. So safety first and first safety. D'Antonio was in the building. D'Antonio King, he says, just rode this past Saturday with some Kings of the South brothers. It was so cold I had to get more heated gear. Look at here. I hope I'm saying it right, D'Antonio. It was cold this weekend. I too was out getting some riding done. And brother, Yo, it was cold. Now, so what do we do? This weekend we went down to oh man, he said they left out at 4 a.m. Yeah, it was cold, bruh. Yeah, it was cold. 4 a.m. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if y'all was, yeah, if y'all was riding, then that mean y'all was probably at least 75, 80. And so that adds a whole nother level of coldness, if you will. With the wind chill factor and everything. Buster, he says, I'll take that. He says, I'll take that 365 challenge with you in 2024. Buster, hit me up. And I will shoot you over. I'm going to create a really nice patch. I haven't started working on the artwork on it yet. I've been kind of consumed, if you will, with the NC Four Corners, the GA Four Corners. We'll talk about that a little bit later on today. They're calling for some very inclement weather up in Georgia on this coming weekend, which is when I'm going to be going up that way to do it. But I'm going to put together a real nice patch. And again, anything that you see your boy doing as far as rides and stuff like that, don't get it twisted. It's not a challenge; it's an invitation. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit as well. It's not a challenge; it's an invitation. I'm too grown to challenge another grown man. I'm just saying. When I was 15 and 16 and, filling my oats and everything, I challenged a Negro, real quick. Look, I'm a grown man, got a beautiful grandbaby and, beautiful. I got so much to live for. And, and I've gotten to a point and place in life where if you like it, I love it. And so I ain't got time to challenge a grown man. I ain't doing it. But I will invite you to come along with me and something that I'm doing or whatever. We just got to change the narrative as it relates to certain things. And but anyway, the 365 endeavor is going to be fun. I'm going to make it fun. So every single day, let me tell you this, folks. We're going to talk about these miles in a little bit. So just stick with me. 980-222-4492. We'd love to hear from you on this morning. I've been married, and I don't mind telling folk this. I met my wife when I was 15. I married her when I was 19. So that's 4 years later we got married, right? And we've been together ever since 1996. It is 2024 right now, okay? 23. So do the math, right? Almost 30 years of almost 30 years of matrimony, because not every single year or every single day was holiness. Come on, somebody. There were some days where I looked at that woman and said, "What in the world?" And there were some days that she looked at me and said, "I wonder if I can get away with manslaughter." I'm just saying. We had some ups and we had some doggone downs. Now I ain't gonna sit here and blow no smoke where smoke ain't supposed to be. I'm just saying, we might as well keep it a buck with you, right? But we've been together. We've stuck out the hard times. We've stuck out the downs, and we still here. Okay. Now, where was I going with that? So we've been together for a long, long time, right? And here's one thing I found out about relationships: intimacy is so important. You can take it there if you want to, intimacy. I don't care how you slice and dice it. Intimacy. Ooh, Lord. Intimacy. Yeah, it's so important. And when it comes to me and my motorcycle, we have an intimate relationship. And I would be a poor owner to walk by that pretty ruby red every single day of the week and not even desire to get on her. I'm just saying. Don't look at me like that, folks. I'm just saying. And so, I like to spend time on my motorcycle. Let me behave and stop cutting a fool, man. But so for 2024, it's going to be. Thank you, Buster. Thank you, Buster's Garage. Okay, yes, sir. He said invitation accepted. Buster's Garage, share with us. I'm going to take it. You got a garage, maybe a mechanic or something, just based by your name. Buster's watching on YouTube. Thank you for those of you who have joined me on YouTube. If you're watching from my personal page, I can't see your comments. I don't know if you're commenting or not. Let me pull it up on my iPad and check. I haven't been able to fix it for whatever reason. I just don't understand what's going on with it. Russell Brown, what's going on? I see he's there. Let's see here. Let me see if I can check this real quick. Russell Brown, what's going on? I see he's there. Of course, there's a mean delay. But for those of you who are commenting from my page, please go over to YouTube really quick. I see Carl Kashan is here on this morning. Good morning, Carl. I see you there on Facebook. Rodney Livingston, what's going on, brother? God bless you. Heaven smile on you. Kinky Holly Black is in the building. Ran into her this week, and it was good seeing her at the toy drive ride or whatever. It was a great turnout, and we enjoyed fellowshipping. Okay, so if you are watching from Facebook, from my personal page, you got to go over to YouTube, especially if you're going to comment, and we would love for you to do that. And not only do we want you to hit the subscribe button, but we'd also like you to hit the notification. Okay, there's Carl. Morning, big fella. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look at them beautiful kids he got for his avatar, man. My goodness, that's a proud dad right there. Carl Kushan, ladies and gentlemen, he's in the building. He claims that he's coming to Jacksonville, Florida on February the 3rd to acquire something that belongs to me. That's what he said, y'all. He said that he's coming for the slow roll belt. I don't know if I want to depart. I don't know if I want to part with it though, Carl. I mean, I like you, big fella. I really do. I think the world of you, man. You blessed me on so many different occasions. But I'm just not sure I want to part with it. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, man. I'm still maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know, man. I don't know. He says I'm gonna bring it home. Well, okay, all right. Well, right now, currently, she is in a very good place. She's very comfortable, and she likes it here. She loves it over here. But if you're coming for it, then what can I do? If you're coming for it, you're coming for it, right? I love it, man. I love it. Okay, so Carl Kushan, he's coming for that. By a show of hands, who else is coming for it? Please note that you must ride your motorcycle there. You can't pull it on a trailer. You got to ride that thing. And if riding season is over, then you can disqualify yourself from coming for my belt, because to get it, you got to ride your motorcycle there. And then, okay, all right. So I'm just saying, so you might want to reconsider whether or not riding season is over or not, if you are indeed coming for my belt that is very comfortable where she sits. Okay, let's get back to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Retro Philosophy Show. It's your boy Retro with you on this morning. Yeah, I got up to talk a little. I got some time. I did get a text a little while ago. I may have to go handle some things, but until then, I got a little bit of time. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit of trash. All right, so where were we at, folks? Okay, so we're talking about miles, right? And do miles really matter? Do miles really matter? I like to ride my motorcycle. When I ride my motorcycle, depending on what's going on, could determine the feeling I get from riding my motorcycle. hmm I can get on my motorcycle on any given day, and there are several things that she will give me in return for twisting that throttle. Peace, joy, happiness, a sense of power. We might as well we might as well be real. You got all them horses at your beck and call, and and so the motorcycle for me it's just like your intimate relationship. It can give you so many different things. You just got to. I want to use the word explore, but anyway, we'll keep it clean. And so I get on my motorcycle and I ride, and it is a source of enjoyment, but it is not the source of my joy. Let me say it one more time. I'm gonna try not to preach when I say it. It is an enjoyment, but it is not the source of my joy. You see, for me, maybe not for you, but for me, my life has to go a certain way. And there are certain things that have to remain in perspective, that have to remain intact, that have to remain in place, that have to remain, prioritized, if you will. And for me, it's God and then everything else, and so He is the source of my joy. And then under Him, there are other things that give me enjoyment. I don't know. Maybe somebody missed that, but so with that said, and then I'll move on. Do miles really matter? Okay, so I've been riding for quite some time, and some may say I'm new to the set, and they would be correct on some regards. But I'm not new to life, and see, people get it twisted. You got a man or a woman who has never been a part of a motorcycle club, a motor, or a riding club, a social club, a motorcycle ministry. He's never been a part of, any organized motorcycle group of any kind, right? That does not disqualify his or her ability to ride. That does not disqualify his or her ability to navigate. And I'm not just talking about on a trip. I'm talking about navigate life. I was born at night, but not last night. Mama didn't raise no fool, and daddy didn't raise no punk. I'm just trying to tell somebody something up in here on this morning, and I don't know if they listen. And so, I found out that respect goes a long way. So anyway, to some I may be new on the setting, in some regards I am, and I'm good with that. What's great about it is I know my space, I know my place, I know my purpose, I know my mission, I know my mandate, I know who I am. A patch on my back doesn't change who I am. But as a matter of fact, who I am enhances the patch that's on my back. And if you are part of a motorcycle club, group, or whatever, and your patch on your back makes you, I'm gonna keep it classy. I'm gonna keep it classy. Then you need help, brother, sister. You need help. When you put that patch on your back, it should be because you are able to enhance that patch. I'm not saying that you make the club. I'm not saying that. I'm saying because of who you are, you add substance to the organization that you have just joined. You're not joining that organization for clout, and you're not joining that organization so that you can now have a green light and or a pass. And then some say, who you think you are to speak on such matters? Well, I'll keep it moving then if you feel that way. But at the end of the day, it still is what it is. And so we should enhance anything. The church you go to, you should enhance that church. You should not be a liability to that church. You should not be a nuisance to that church. You should not be a parasite to that church, parasite / leech. But you, in some shape, form, or fashion, should be able to add to whatever it is that you join. Okay, that woman, you ought not be pulling up in her driveway talking about you about to get you some get some, and then get up and go. No. I mean, if you're gonna get some, bring something to that woman's life. Don't be playing around with her emotions. Don't be playing around with her feelings. Don't be playing around with just take. You got to. It's a give and take thing, and anything that we are a part of, whether it be relationships, whether it be business, it doesn't matter what it is. If you are a part of it, then you ought to be given to it. How did we get there? We're supposed to be talking about miles. I don't know. Y'all help me out, man. Y'all stop talking to me and everything. But I don't know. Maybe we stepped on some toes. I don't know. But do miles really matter, folks? And the answer to that is yes, they do matter. Okay. When I bought my motorcycle, and I've had a few. I've only had 2 Harleys, but when I bought my first Harley, okay, was when I really started taking riding to the next level. Just like most of you guys, you had your crotch rockets and your rice rockets, and you had your bikes, and you tore up the town. You bike night to bike night, you tore up the town. And then for whatever reason, you got into the whole Harley scene, or maybe Victory, Indian, whatever cruiser, and you started getting state lines. And I like to believe that a lot of that had to do with a maturity level, because you get to a point at some point where you're tired of the same old. Some people, and I think we've all done this at some point or another. We hop on our motorcycles and we zoom through state to state to state, so that we can say we collect state lines. Where's my graphic? See if I can find it really quick and put it up here. I can't find it, folks. I can't find it. So I'll just talk about it, okay? Collecting miles and smiles. I had a graphic for it. There it is right there. Boom, bada boom, bada bang. Collecting miles and smiles, ladies and gentlemen. At some point, you get to a place where you don't want to just zoom through 20, 30 states at one time. But you want to, meet some people along the journey. You want to stop and take in the sights. You want to, enjoy it. You want to see parts of the state that you whose sign you just collected, and things like that. But I think it comes with a level of maturity. You get a little bit older, and things change. You begin to look at life differently. You begin to want more out of life, want more for life, and so on and so forth. And so you get out there, you begin to do things differently. Okay. Anyway, I bought my bike, and my plan was to ride it till the wheels fell off. Mm-hmm. Yep, 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 yep. I My first long distance trip on a motorcycle was from North Carolina to Maryland. I think it was about 6.5 hour ride. And previously, I had only ridden long distance, maybe 3 hours, maybe 3 hours. I think I rode from, might not even been that. I left from Massachusetts to New Haven, about 2.5 hours, something like that. And I know that's not far. It's not far, but that was the furthest I had rode, and at the time it was on the crotch rocket. After my crotch rocket days, I got a couple Hondas and things like that. Shadow, VTX. I had a couple Shadows, had a VTX. And I wasn't going far. I wasn't going far. I was pretty much just around town. I was new to the area down here in North Carolina, and so I didn't know a lot of people. I knew people, but I didn't know people. I'm the kind of guy, I know you, but I don't know you. So I ain't just getting up with strangers and go across. I can't do that. I got to know who you is. I got to know if we pull up at a stoplight, if somebody gonna pull up behind us and try to cancel Christmas on us or something like that. Mess around and get caught in between the crossfires, and that's no bueno. It's not a good look. So I didn't really, do too much. I will tell you this: the first group I rode with, real talk, it was a female group. Oh man, Lauren and Miss K. They had I think they had, matter of fact, they had a motorcycle club at the time out of Statesville. I don't remember the name, but they was the first group down here once I moved to North Carolina that I kind of, came across, and I ride with them a couple times, and we still ride together from time to time. It's been a while since we got together and rode, but anyway, my point was I didn't do a whole lot of riding, so there was really no what's the word I'm looking for? Enticement. That's not a good word. There's really no desire. That's really not the word I want either, but we'll use that. There was really no desire to go long distance. Okay. I messed around and went up to Maryland to a biker Sunday, and it was so many bikes up there. And I said, man, this is where it's at. It was really a good experience. I'll give them that. It was a good experience. And I think I was in at that moment. At that moment, I was like, yeah, I want to dig into this a little bit more. And so from there, I just kept on. We'll go here and we'll go there, and so I bought my motorcycle. Matter of fact, I knew about that trip, and that was one of the reasons why I bought the Street Glide. I got off of the Honda, and I got the Street Glide, and okay, got some messages coming in, and so I got on the Street Glide, and it rode really well. I enjoyed it. The wife got on the back, and we rode up there to Maryland together, and we enjoyed it. So we've been going ever since then, folks. My point is this: I bought my motorcycle to ride it, and last I checked, I don't think none of y'all paid the note on it. I don't think none of y'all paid the insurance on it. I don't think none of y'all bought none of them tires that we be running through. Oh my goodness, man! I promise you, real talk. Sidebar: I'm about to go dark side on my motorcycle, folks. Any of y'all watching go dark side on your motorcycle? I'm going through these motorcycle tires way too much, and it's like $400 a pop, and I'm about to go dark side. If you know what dark side is, comment in the comment section, and let me know if you think it's a good idea or if you think it's a bad idea. And if you don't know what it is, then Google it. Google it. Dark side, okay? And so that's what I'm going to do when it's time for my next tire to be replaced, which won't be too long. Won't be too long. So I get out there and I ride my motorcycle, and I'm not the kind of guy. Now I know people, and I want to try to say this without being negative, because that's the last thing I want the Retro Philosophy Show to be seen as. Currently, I am rolling American Elite, Carl. American Elite. I think they perform fairly well, but Man, I just go through them too quick, man. So I think my next tire. I've been doing a little bit of research, and I think I'm gonna go dark side. Let's see here. Thank you, Minister Evans. She says she don't think it's a bad idea as much as you ride. So apparently she knows what it is. Pretty impressive, Jennifer. Pretty impressive. I see you, girl. I see you. And so it's a 50-50 conversation. Some people swear by it. Some people think it's the craziest thing you could do, and this, that, and the other. Miles matter, and so there are some people who will. I use this terminology, browbeat. Browbeat means to talk down on somebody or to try to belittle somebody, and so they will or make you feel bad about what you do, this, that, and the other. And so there are people that will browbeat you because you do not ride as much as they ride. Now let's pause for a moment. I hope he don't mind. If so, if not, he might put me in a headlock, and if not, then it won't be an issue. But shout out to Highway Dre. Let's make some noise. Highway Dre out of Fayetteville with Street Soldiers. He says a couple things. I mean, dude is funny as all get out, but he drops some knowledge. First and foremost, he says every day you get a chance and a choice. But what he went on to say while we were in conversation one particular day, he was talking about a gentleman, and he says, and I don't remember the exact numbers, right? But let's just, he says he rides 30,000 miles a year. I ride 80,000 miles a year. But I respect his 30,000 miles a year because he has a full-time job, a full family, and so for him to squeeze out 30 a year is impressive. It says something, even though numerically they're less than what I did. Is what he was saying in so many words. And so, I number one, I think that it takes you got to be in the OG status to look at a situation like that and address it like that. Yeah. No, not that OG. That's the other OG, old and goofy. I'm not talking about those OGs because there's a lot of folk out there that claim they OGs, and they are, but they old and goofy. I better leave it alone. And so when you see someone doing something, you gotta see their effort. There's a story in the Bible about a woman who gave 1 penny. And Jesus says the 1 penny that she gave is greater than the large amount that the others gave, because they gave out of their surplus when she gave out of her necessity. In other words, she gave her 1 penny was all she had to give, and she gave it. Whereas somebody else had, let's just say $1 million, but they gave 1,000 and want to floss on you like they gave so much. And yeah, $1,000 is a lot, but it's nothing in comparison to $1 million. So you gave more than I gave, but it didn't even faze you. Maybe somebody got that, maybe not. I'm not sure. And so we have these conversations surrounding the motorcycle community, and don't look at me with that tone of voice because we there are all kind. I remember on one particular group, and I get it. A lot of it's in fun and games, but they be ragging on people that don't have matching tires. You got a 21-inch or a 23-inch or 26-inch front wheel, and you got this little bitty stock wheel underneath them, stretch bags, and they be going in. You got folk that'll look at your bike and they trying to see, why are you worried about another man's motorcycle? I'm just I'm saying, man. I mean, even if I understand where you're coming from, you still don't have. I preached a message the other day. It ain't that easy, and the gist of the message was coming from the scripture where it talks about you do not have the right to judge another man's servant. Who are you to judge another man's servant? Who am I to judge you for how you ride your motorcycle that you pay for? And I just don't get it. I just don't get it, And so listen to me. If you go from one country, because there's some of y'all out there that's some bad mofos. I mean, y'all will ride your motorcycle. Some of y'all ride in multiple countries. I mean, and hats off to you. Let's make some noise. Yeah, they no longer hanging out in ground pounder status. They are in country pounder status because they've traveled multiple countries. So shout out to those who are doing it big like that. But then there are some that they don't get outside of their state, you know. But hey, they love riding their motorcycle within their state. Maybe one day they will get to riding state to state. Maybe one day they will go cross country. But here's the thing: if we love motorcycles and motorcycling, then we should love those who motorcycle. And if we love those who motorcycle, then our goal, aim, and it should be to encourage. Stop taking your 400,000 miles a year, okay, and shaming someone who only did 20,000 miles for the year. Take your 400,000-mile year and extract some wisdom and knowledge to break off to the little G. Because one day he gonna be an OG. I'm just saying, And but for real, if I'm so good at something, okay, uh, I got my little platform that I'm trying to grow here right now. Just a drop in the bucket, We flirting with a cool 600 subscriber list. Come on, make some noise. We on our way to 600 subscribers, And there are some that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, But it's all good. Okay. Now, if someone, and this has happened, had asked me for some advice, some direction, some input about their channel, and I don't have a problem helping. I'm saying, if you cannot teach somebody or show somebody to do something that you do, and understand that they may be better at it than you, then you got a problem if you can't accept that. Okay, so let's see. Folks get caught up in what folks behind a screen say about them. It's crazy to me how it even matters. I can agree with that, Carl. I can agree. They say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. That's a lie. I need Murray here. We found out that's a lie, because words do have an effect. How do you know that? I know, number one, I know it from experience, but the eyes and the ears are the gateway to our soul. And so words have life. The Bible says death and life is in the power of the tongue. And so we must be, and let me go a little further. I didn't mean to preach, but oops. You've got to understand that the Bible says that we must give an account for every idle word. Okay. So every word you speak, there's an accountability level attached to it. Now, with the words, which are life, that you are speaking, death and life are in the power of the tongue. So depending on what you're speaking could be either life or death. So what is it that you're speaking with your tongue? Okay, so let's move on a little bit here. So we must be careful because we will give an account for those words. So we have the ability to build someone, or we have the ability to tear someone down. When you open your mouth, one or the other is getting ready to happen. I'm trying to preach, Sister Evans. We might have to tag team it on this morning. You are either going to build someone or tear someone down when you open your mouth. Which one is it going to be? Now, if you are so good, you've been riding all this time, and you are OG, and you a ground pounder, and you get state lines, and then are you showing anybody else how to do that? You got to realize the Bible says, "Despise not small beginnings." Okay, so let's just say Brother Billy. Okay, he ain't got but 300 miles for the year, but he was so excited about those 300 miles. Build those 300 miles up, because next year might be 6, and then the following year it might be 2,000. Before you know it, he done been from country to country. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean to tell you, we just got a real OG that joined the broadcast. Make some noise. Low-key's in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can enlarge this here, because trust me, when Low-key opens his mouth, he not just opening it to open it. This is a man of wisdom and profound knowledge, and he's always willing to share. Being able to write is a privilege. Writers should be humbled and grateful. Hold on. Should be let me see here. Writers should be humbled and grateful they have the freedom to write. It takes financial means. Come on now. Capable health, relationship support at home, etc. Be grateful. That whole part right there. And there have been some people who have been instrumental in me becoming the writer that I've become, or that I'm becoming, because we ain't done yet. None of us are. We are all a work in progress. And I've said this before, so I'll say it again. I was congratulating Big Sarge. You know who Big Sarge is, right? Yeah, he's got the I-10 to the end and the Titan Award. And some of the previous Titans that I didn't even realize were Titans at the time did Titan stuff. And my point is, even though their year is up, they're continuing to do what they were nominated because of. And none of them talked down to me. None of them said, "Oh man, you ain't ready." None of them said anything negative. They just did what true Titans do. They empowered. They come on, somebody. Maybe I got the wrong station this morning. I think I should have had some kibbles. I was going to say kibbles and bits. Lord have mercy. Some Rice Krispies or something. I might be off. So Low-Key, thank you for that. You are absolutely on the money and correct. So let's talk about this a little bit longer here. Okay, so if you're not careful, what you will do is you will cause harm to people. Remember, I said when you open your mouth, what's going to happen? You're either going to tear somebody down or build somebody up. And sometimes we do it in a roundabout or indirect way. Okay. Now, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, thank God I'm not weak, but hypothetically speaking, let's say I'm fairly new to the set, right? To the motorcycle community. I got my little Harley, I got my little Harley boots, my little Harley jacket, and my wallet with the chain on it, and I got a couple patches, and so I'm ready, I'm excited. Number one, I'm impressed, okay, because you see some people out there with some really nice bikes. They seem like cool people. They're doing great things. You're impressed, and it's okay to be impressed, okay? And they begin to speak a certain way. Oh man, you ain't riding, man. If you ain't getting state lines, you ain't riding. And so now, if I'm weak, I feel like I gotta get state lines. But what if I'm not ready for state lines? Oh, that doesn't matter. You got to live up to a certain expectation because he's so and so, and he's somebody, and she's such and such. And if they say it, that's what you got to do to be a biker. I'm so glad I'm a grown man. And I tell people all the time, I ain't a biker. I just do biker stuff sometimes. I mean, I'm not claiming to be nobody's biker. I'm just little Sheldon. Some call me retro. Some call me some other stuff. It's fun. No, I'll keep it moving. I'll keep it moving, y'all. What was we saying? Okay, so now you feel like you gotta do things a certain way. Now, when I make a decision, I've prayed about it. I've thought about it, and most of the time, I would have even sought counsel pertaining to what needs to be done. Okay, so don't get it twisted. Some people say, "Oh, my motto is I get to, I ain't got to." There you go. I get to, I don't have to. Yeah, I get to, I ain't got to. I like that, Carl. Good motto. Good motto. Good motto. And so there are some people that will think that you did something because so-and-so did it or such and such. And I get it. It might look like that. It might look like that. But not everything is what it looks like either. So anyway, for me, I can only speak for me. When I make a decision, I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to ponder it. I'm going to seek counsel, get advice, things like that before I just jump into certain decisions. Okay. So when I make it, I'm good. There have been times that I did things. Let me say it to you like this. Some people will hype you up and then look for your downfall. And if you made the decision based on the hype, then your downfall is gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly. Make a choice based on what you feel is right, not based on what people are saying. Let's get back to the statement here. So, getting across state lines, it costs money. That's why you see me out there in that truck. That's why you see me out there, doing what I do. Last night, I was out way later than I had expected to, but I had to get the work done, and because it costs money to get across these state lines. So if I jump up and try to collect all these state lines because that's what the thing is to do, and I don't have certain things in place, I could ruin my relationship. I could ruin my health. Come on now. Let me see if I can put this back up here. What Low Key said. Okay. So you gotta have capable health. And again, if my health is suspect, if my health is on the decline, and okay, let's talk about this for a quick minute, and then we'll get back to some miles. Why is it, y'all help me understand, why is it such a bad stigma on three-wheelers? I can't understand that. I just, if I come across a good deal on a three-wheeler, especially that Road Glide 3, man, it's a wrap. I don't care what nobody say. I'll ride that thing, and man, but just so many people that I won't be caught dead on a three-wheeler. Well, I'd rather be caught live on a three-wheeler than caught dead on a two-wheeler, because I was trying to do what my health was no longer able to do. I'm just saying, safety first, and first safety. You still riding, your knees is still in the breeze. Some of us, we got to reconsider some things, and we have to take out what we think folks are going to say about our decision. You can't make decisions based on other folk. They'll talk about you for not making the decision. They'll talk about you for making the decision. Folks, it's going to be folks. And I'm so glad that these are lessons in life that I've learned. I've learned these at a fairly young age. Some of them I'm still perfecting. I ain't going to sit here and act like I'm perfect in no shape, form, or fashion, But you have to be so, so careful. That's why I just put it out there. That's why you must have a relationship with God. I didn't say you had to be a preacher. I didn't say you had to be at church every Sunday. I didn't say you had to be saved and sanctified. You should, but anyway, you gotta have a relationship with God. Now, when we talk about a relationship with God, it's gonna look different for different people. My relationship with God ain't gonna look like your relationship with God. But we cannot deny that a man or woman has or does not have a relationship with God, because they don't worship him the way we worship, because they don't pray the way we pray, because they don't go to the church we go to, and so on and so forth. That's, in the words of Mike Tyson, that's ludicrous, man. It's just ludicrous. I'm just saying. We got to have a relationship with God. And as long as you can say, well, God, this is what I think I'm going to do. Is it okay? God, and then that's all that matters. He's the only one you got to please. Now, I'll be honest. If you got family, let me see here. Let me send this text out real quick, because let me see. As long as you got God, then you're going to be all right, okay? So do miles matter? Yes, they matter. If you clock, and here we are at the end of the year, right? We're all getting ready to clock our miles. And some of us will post them and some of us won't. And some of them that won't post them, some of them won't post it because they're being humble. But then there are some that won't post them because they're embarrassed. Let me tell you this. If you clocked them on your motorcycle, post your miles and be proud, because you rode every single one of those miles. You hear what I'm telling you? Yeah. And another reason is because sometimes to see the progress goes a long way. In other words, when I don't know about you, but there have been times, there was a time in my life more frequently than now that I would journal. Okay. I would write how I felt. I'm gonna be honest with you. One of the reasons was because I was so confused. I was going through so much turmoil. I just began to write. I just began to journal. And I can recall at the end of the year, as a matter of fact, I can recall at a later time coming across some of those journals, and I began to read them and little notes and stuff, and I was just like, whoa, to literally see where I was at that particular time. It did a lot. It did a lot. And so sometimes we have to just post it. Sometimes we just have to write it down so that at a later time we can reflect on it. And for me, it was encouraging. There were some things that I came across that was, I'm not going to say embarrassing, but for lack of better lack of a better word, it was kind of, it was kind of embarrassing, because we do some things sometimes and we don't think. And to go back and see what you did, I'll just say it like this. Some of us have to acknowledge the foolishness that we did. Not only acknowledge the foolishness, but acknowledge that it was foolish. Because some of us will acknowledge what we did, but we won't acknowledge the foolishness as being foolish. Oh, how we get here, Retro? We supposed to be talking about Miles, man. You going all off, man. You need y'all praying for me today. So Miles matter, folk, and so let's not be the kind of people who talk about people and tear down people because they don't do what you do. I ride my bike every day, almost literally every day. 2024, I'm going to ride it every single day. And that's just, for my own personal reasons. But I ride it every day. And there are some people who only ride their motorcycle when they're getting ready to get yonder, when they get ready to get on the highway. I was talking to somebody the other day, and he was telling me, he said, that's how I was, Retro. He said, I didn't ride my bike unless I was getting ready to go on the highway. He says, but now things are different. He says, I'm getting ready to start riding every day. He bought him another bike just for that purpose. And he says, I'm going to just start riding. And I sat there and I listened to this man as he was explaining this. And I was extremely proud of him, because some of us, we get set in our ways and we never see another way. I had a guy, you guys, if you follow me, you've heard me say this before, the late Reverend James Sowell Jr. He told me one time, he said, young man, forget what you think you know and learn what you don't. Some of us will never learn what we don't because we're so stuck on what we do know. How does that relate to Miles, Retro? Well, it does, because we're so busy getting yonder that we're missing local opportunities. There are people who will go across the country to see a monument when they have one in their own backyard that they've never seen. Because in their eyes, local stuff ain't hitting on nothing. I've got to go across country to see something great. When I tell you riding the four corners of North Carolina was a blessing, it was indeed a blessing. Listen to me. I don't know what state you're in. What state are you living in? If you're watching, put in the comment section what state you live in, and I will challenge you. I will invite you. I'm trying to X that word from my vocabulary. I will invite you on a journey in your own state to find something that's awesome. Now, I'm not saying stop getting yonder. Get your yonder, bruh. Get it. When I tell you get it. But little man that ain't got but 1,000 miles for the year might be on to something. He might be on to something, and here's how it plays out a lot of times. Some of y'all ain't nothing but bullies. I said it, and sorry, not sorry. Some of y'all ain't nothing but bullies with a capital B. And so little man might be on to something. He ride his 1,000 miles every year, and he discovers something nice. He discovers something good. And then Mr. Cross Country yonder, ground pounder, want to show up at what little man, and just bully his way and take over. At the little local joint that little man found. He go there every day after work. And look, bro, I'm just saying, every single mile matters. If you rode 3 miles, I'm proud of your 3 miles. It's just like some of y'all. If I'm gonna hit one, I got to, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Ain't that right, y'all? Some of y'all used to talk about trailers are for boats and lawnmowers, and that's because you was at that season of your life. Now, I happen to believe that I'll say it this way: the only time my motorcycle has been on a trailer was because it was on its way to the shop for repairs. Yeah, yeah. The only time my bike has been on a trailer was because it was in need of repair. You know, and then it was on a trailer one time when I had to go pick it up from the dealer because they had finished the repair. Okay, but anyway. Now, even though that's my situation, you will never hear me tearing down another brother for trailing his bike. Because come bike week, you see more trailers, you see more bikes on trailers than you see. They just be going down the road. Trailers, bikes on trailers, bikes on trailers, bikes on trailers. And come on, Busters, we post all them miles. You clocked them, post them. They yours. I wish a ninja would talk about my 300 miles. They mine. I'm okay. Anyway, but so I'm not one for it. As long as my bike can ride, I'm gonna ride it. But I'm not gonna tear down somebody else because they decided their situation is different. Their setup is different. Their reason for riding is different. Some people buy their bike to impress folk that they don't like. They buy a bike they can't afford to impress somebody they don't like. Oh, they couldn't just go get a special. They couldn't get the Road Glide special. They couldn't get the Road Glide Ultra. They had to go get the CVO. And ain't nothing against the CVO. They make y'all got some nice bikes, but I'm just saying some folks is going out here getting stuff to impress folk, and that's the reason why they getting it. But so anyway, people buy bikes for all kinds of reasons, and hey, it at the end of the day, it is what it is. But if you're out here motorcycling the right way, it will filter some of that stuff out. Let's just say I bought my motorcycle to impress Billy Bob and Betty Sue. Okay, so now I got this motorcycle to prove a point. Right? But I come across Kodak, who's just out there eating miles. Every time you turn around, he's showing up. I didn't come for a long time. I came for a good time. Don't meet me there, beat me there. Kodak the ground pounder. You already know what it is, man. He says, I just ride to make others hate me more. But when you do it right, see, here's the deal, Kodak, and those that are listening. Haters are nothing but confused admirers. So, yeah, they're hating on you, but they really admire you. Yeah, they're hating on you, but they really want to be like you. There were some people who, Lord Jesus. Okay, let's talk about the trailer. So, trailers is not for me. I've got a few trailers. My motorcycle don't get on one of them if I can help it. But there may come a day and there may come a time in my life where that is what needs to be done. And so when it comes to that point, I'll do it. And I won't have no regrets, no remorse. I won't feel no kind of way because I didn't beat somebody up because they were doing it. You understand what I'm saying? Some folk will never get on a three-wheeler because they've talked about those on three-wheelers so much. And so now that they need to get on a three-wheeler, they feel as though they can't because they talked about them so bad, even though they know they need to, but they won't because they talked about it so bad. And now they risk their lives, their health, and so on and so forth to prove a point that you grown. Whose point you got to prove? You a grown man, a whole grown woman. What point you got to prove? Look, this sport of motorcycling is wonderful. I'm telling you, I enjoy it. And more, especially here lately, I get on my motorcycle and I'm riding and it's like, man, just keep on going. Just keep on going. I mean, like for real, but, it's a great sport. I enjoy it. I've enjoyed some of the relationships that have come out of it, meeting different people in different places. And all I'm simply trying to say today, be great. And be great on purpose, but don't let your greatness, be somebody else's horror. If you are OG that offer guidance, if you know so much, then show a better way. Don't talk about me and what I'm doing if you can't offer me a better way, if you can't offer any enlightenment. Okay, you get hurt if you try to take a bone from a hungry dog. You got to give him a steak and take the bone. I mean, if you're gonna take something from him, give him something in return. Is what? Come on now. Kodak says, I can't wait until my 3-wheel days. Listen here, man. I'm trying to tell you. We got Virginia in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Buster's Garage out of Virginia. Shout out to the Virginia area. It is on the list. We ain't gonna get up there till it get a little bit warmer though, but we will definitely be doing the 4 corners of Virginia as well. Looking forward to that, man. Virginia, ladies and gentlemen, it's a state for lovers. It's a beautiful state, man. Virginia, West Virginia, we'll be getting up there too. Many of y'all don't know this, but West Virginia is the home state of my mama. My mama grew up in a little poor town in West Virginia, a little small section of Logan, West Virginia. That's where my mama grew up at, man. She grew up real poor. And so we'll definitely be getting down there. I've been saying I'm gonna get down there and just do some touring of her area where she grew up at. Like I said, it's a very small area. They call it Dehue. It's a section of Logan, so Virginia, West Virginia, but we'll hit those states, come springtime, because it can be kind of inclement weather up there this time of year. And as I just said earlier, safety first and first safety. So I'm gonna end on this note, ladies and gentlemen. We've been doing all this talk, as you see in the bottom of the screen right there, hashtag GA4 Corners. And I'm watching the weather. I will be in Georgia, Atlanta area on this Thursday. The plan is to leave out Saturday morning, right around 5 a.m., heading for Lookout Mountain, and then continue on to the other 3 corners to knock out the 4 corners of Georgia. And I am the dude who often says, weather does not dictate whether or not we ride, but the gear we wear when we ride. But safety first and first safety, okay? I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. And so my concern is safety, and especially because there are some people who is like, yo, we're going to ride with you. And if they want to ride, then fine, but if that rain is looking like it, then we may have to reconsider, because tomorrow, Annie said tomorrow is always a day away, but tomorrow's another day is what I'm saying, you should never do something that could cause harm just to prove a point, okay? And if I could mimic, or if I could incite, or if I could invoke, or if I could muster up, or if I could activate, or if I could promote anything, I would like to promote the fact that we could do what God has called us to do without apology. I'm just saying, get to the point where you're not doing it to prove anything to anybody. You might have bought your motorcycle to prove a point, but it doesn't have to continue like that. Ride your ride. Ride your ride, and everything will be all right. So, to answer the question, do miles matter? Yes, they do matter. Ain't that why you bought that motorcycle, to ride it? All right, then, ride your motorcycle. Well, it is what it is. My VP shared his testimony. It's probably been sometime last year. We were right here on the Retro Philosophy Show, and we were chopping it up with another motorcycle ministry. And so he had gave up riding. It wasn't because his health had declined. It wasn't even so much that he didn't love motorcycling. It was due to an experience that was attached to it. And so he gave it up. He let his plate, lapse and everything. He just gave up. He was done with it. He just gave up on it. And there are a lot of people who give up on a great thing because of an experience attached to it. You, my brother and sister that are watching me right now, you have the ability to fix that. I'm not saying it's your responsibility, but you do have the ability to fix that. The Bible says this: By this shall all men know that you are my disciples, because you have love one to another. Two key words: my disciple and love. Okay? So if you are a disciple of Christ, and you will be told, or you will be known by the love that you share. Okay. Let's see here. Not everyone can do what everyone else can do. So do what you can do. Ride your scoot. I think that's what that S stands for. Am I right, Buster? Is that what it stands for? Ride your scoot? I guess some can interpret it another way, but I'm going to interpret it as ride your scoot. Okay. And real talk, man. Now check this out. There are a lot of you guys that inspire me. There are a lot of you guys that inspire others. A lot of us, I'll include myself, a lot of us, we are out here, we're doing our thing by God's grace and mercy. And in some shape, form, or fashion, we are inspiring others. Okay. Now, here's what we have to understand about inspiring and being inspired. Results may differ. You got to understand. Let's just say Buster, Kodak, Low Key, inspired me to ride cross country. Number one, I've got to ride across country. I got to ride my ride across country. Okay. And even though I took the same exact route, the results may vary. If I don't understand that, if you don't understand that, then you might miss the goodness of your journey. You might miss the greatness of your journey. You might miss the nuggets in your journey or on your journey, because you're looking for a spitting image of what Low Key got. Low Key set out with a certain plan, and it varied even along the way. So what you see is not even what he initially saw per se, because results may vary. Am I making any sense, y'all? Or do I need to just shut it down? I think I'm going to shut it down. But not everyone can do what everyone can do. So do what you can do. And be comfortable with that. Understand your limits. Know your limits. Don't be ashamed of your limits. And because otherwise you're going to mess around and you're going to get hurt. And I'm not even talking about just physically. There's so many other ways that one could be hurt. That goes far beyond the physical aspect of it. And the sad part is some of that stuff, it's very difficult to recover from. Which miles really matter? Is it just my around town miles? Or is it just my coast to coast miles? Or is it just my state to state miles? Is it just the miles rode with my club? Lord, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Because some folk only ride because it's a mandated ride. How many miles would some folk have? Oh, Lord, how many miles would some folk have if it wasn't for the mandated rides? I'm just saying, come on, bro. The curves in West Virginia is a beast. I mean, absolutely lovely, man, And so we're looking forward to get up there and ride some of those curves. There's a part of the Blue Ridge Parkway, I believe, or is it the Skyway Drive or something like that, that I believe cuts through West Virginia. But we're going to get out there. We're going to check it out, man. I'm going to get out y'all's way, man. I just want to hop on and talk some trash this morning, man. Do miles really matter? And if you don't take anything away from this broadcast on today, please walk away knowing that whatever miles you do on your motorcycle, they're yours and they count. If they were just within your little state, you could be, what's the smallest state in the United States, guys? I ain't that smart on geography. So what is the smallest state? Let's see here. I know it's going to be up north. I know it's up north. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Maryland. I don't know. So I don't know, but let's just say you from the smallest state, and you only ride within your state lines. Oh well. There are some people out west, like Texas. Texas is a galaxy, right? And let's say you got a rider who never went outside of the state of Texas, right? But then you got somebody from up north, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, right around in them areas up there where the states are much smaller. You can ride through 4, 5, 6 of them in the same day. And and you brag, yeah, man, I got 6 state lines, and this brother in Texas ain't got but one state line, or no state lines, right? But he's rode all over Texas, so he got way more miles than you got, even though you got way more states than he got. So who are you to talk about his miles because he ain't got as many state lines as you got? I mean, you could be out west and hit California, Arizona, and New Mexico, right? And what, 3 states? But your mileage could far outweigh somebody up north hitting all them little bitty cluster states that are all right there. So the point is, stop talking about people and their miles. Stop talking about people and their style of ride. If their style of ride is off, in your opinion, then maybe point out, some pros and cons, and then go from there. I love it when I was growing up, man. I had so many OGs in my life that played a role, man. And none of them that I can recall tore me down as a little G. None of them tore me down. If I was doing, and that's what I love that about where I grew up at. There was a method to the madness. They would sit you down and they would show you something. They would sit you down and they would teach you something. If we was out there being reckless, and we were, a lot of times we was out there being reckless, they pull you over. Yo, bro, yo, come here, son. They sit you down and they school you. Look, bro, you can't be doing this because of this, that, and the other. Now, if you keep on doing this, then these are the consequences. They would break it down, man. They would break it down. They would never come and just shut it down. They would break it down. And then after they break it down, they would make you play a role in rebuilding it. And in other words, after they broke you down, after they told you where you was wrong, after they told you where you was loose and all this, that, and the other, they said, now, if you want to continue, then this is what you got to do. And then they would help you get to that point. Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, that's what we're about. We enjoy riding motorcycles. And again, I ain't a biker like some of y'all is, but I'm a grown man. I love people and I mean business. So any way I can help somebody, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. It starts with my team. Yeah, the Cam fam. That's where my focus is primarily, first and foremost. Because how you going to build the world when your house is in disarray? The Bible says a man that doesn't take care of his own house is like an infidel and has denied the faith. Come on, somebody. Appreciate that, Buster. He said, dope conversation. And so for me, my main priority and focus as it relates to motorcycling is sharing with Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry and our supporters, what I know about motorcycling, which in the eyes of some is nothing but a drop in the bucket. And I'll take that. But that drop in the bucket, I'm going to share. I'm going to share it. Because you'll be surprised when you share a little bit, how it can turn into a lot in the hands of somebody else that can then turn around and pour right back into you. And so I've approached life with trying to teach people to be better than I am and go further than I went. Come on, somebody. Because if I'm successful there, then I'm going to eat. It's going to come back on me. And I can tell you that it has. It has. All right. So remember, death and life is in the power of your tongue. When you open your mouth, you're going to either tear down somebody or build them up. So be conscious of that fact. Miles matter. Every single one of them matter. OK. And I don't know if I'm going to post my miles this year. Well, I guess I will. I'm going to leave you on that note, folks. I want to thank you guys for joining the conversation on this morning. We've got some interviews lined up for you. We had kind of slowed down on doing the interviews, and I guess we'll get back into it. So we have a few lined up. We have some others in talks. So we plan on bringing you guys some pretty decent conversation and topics. So if there are any topics or discussions that you would like us to dive into, by all means, hit us up, inbox, email. You can email me at retro.75@gmail.com. You can email me at kingdomalignment.mm at gmail.com. You can also hit me up on my MySpace page, which is still active and in full bloom. You can also text me on my pager. I still got my pager. I still got my two-way. And I'm not giving out my bag phone because that's just for, that's just for, the higher uppers. You know what I mean? I still got my bag phone. You think I'm playing games with you? Yeah. So what I'm saying is I'm reachable. Not only am I reachable, I'm teachable. So if I said something today that you feel was off, holler at me and let me know. I love being corrected because whenever I'm corrected, that means I'm growing. All right. So by all means, reach out to me and say, "Yo, bro, Retro, you was kind of off on this," or "Yo, brother Retro, you should have said this," or whatever. Hit me up. Hit me up, man. I love people, so I love conversating and stuff like that. So, all right, I'm gonna get out y'all's way. Today is a beautiful day to be great. And I dare you to get out and be great. Remember, if you're looking to do the NC Four Corners, that ride has been certified and verified. So hit me up and we will give you all the information that you need in order to do that ride successfully. As a matter of fact, I'll pop that on the screen right there. You can pull out your cellular device at this time and you can scan either of these. The one up top is for Georgia Four Corners, and the one at the bottom is for the NC Four Corners. If you reside in North Carolina, I was gonna say you gotta, but you ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to do nothing you don't want to do. But if you reside in North Carolina, I invite you to do this ride. Cool ride, great ride, and I want to add to it. When you leave Sparta to go to Murphy or leave Murphy to go to Sparta, take the back road. Avoid highways on that one. Whew. You'll thank me later. You'll thank me unless you don't like curves and hills and stuff. Then you might, want to jump on me. But it's a beautiful ride between Murphy and Sparta on the back way. If you are going to do the back way, then I would tell you to plan for at least a 2.5 day trip. That way you don't have to rush from Murphy to Sparta. You don't really want to rush through there. You want to really just kind of cruise through there and enjoy it. And these rides are not meant to be races. They're meant to be enjoyed. So again, you can scan those barcodes there, those QR codes, and it'll take you straight to the registration page with all the information that you need. If by chance you need more information, feel free to call the number that's scrolling at the bottom of your screen, or you can call me on my cell phone, which is also in the registration link. Okay, so GA Four Corners, the patches have already been ordered. They'll be here soon. Those who have already registered, your patch is safe and secure, waiting on you to complete the ride. I will, Lord's will, be taking off on this coming Saturday to complete the GA Four Corners. We're going to take a closer look at the weather. We've got a group that was planning on doing it, but and rightfully so, they're watching the weather to find out if it's going to be a yay or nay. I'd like to take some time to say shout out to my man Excel.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big Cell. You still keeping it 100.
Out the GA Four Corners, he said, "Hey, yo, count me in, bro. Count me in," and I said, "Yo, that's what's up right there," because hey, he in Georgia, right? That's his state. So by all means, look, you coming through doing the Four Corners in my state, hey, holla at your boy, man. And so he's got FHO in the building. They're gonna be supporting the ride as well. I don't think he minds me saying that. So we appreciate him for the support that he's always shown to the Retro Philosophy Show and to me in general. And so we're going to be getting together with him, if not Thursday, Friday. So you should be able to catch us over there on the FHO podcast next week. As a matter of fact, this week. So keep your ears peeled to that. Ladies and gentlemen, go on over to YouTube, like and subscribe. Help us build this little platform that we're trying to do here, man, because we got some more conversation that we going to have, okay? I got some things that I want to talk about. I'm supposed to be getting out y'all's way, and I promise you I will, but the reason why the Retro Philosophy Show was started, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, was because I had questions that nobody wanted to talk about. So I started coming on here talking about certain things and getting a couple other people to come on and get their points of views and things like that. And there were some out here who, as I've said before, who have laid the blueprint in many regards, who has, you know, not only inspired but encouraged. And so to this day we continue. But I've got some things that I want to talk about, man. And so we're going to talk about it. I got another juicy topic. We'll release that here soon, and we'll talk about that. So whenever you see the notification, make sure you click on the link when we go live, man. I want you guys to have an awesome day, man. I'm done. I'm done. Put a fork in me. I'm done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all be good.
It's the Retro Philosophy Show. Go on and tell everybody you know. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lottie Dottie, and I'm in the building hanging out with Retro. Keep it locked, and don't you dare touch that dial.
Assignment for the king. Hope you ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever
Yo,
bride.
let me remind you guys before I get out of here. I almost forgot. How could I do that? The third annual Genesis Ride, ladies and gentlemen, is going down. Okay, it's going down on January the 1st. January the 1st. Kick-ins up at 11 a.m. from the QT gas station at 2345 North Chester Street and Gastonia, North Cackalack. All right. Join us for our annual first ride of the year. First ride of the year. It's about 45 minutes of back roads and curves, ending at a local restaurant for fellowship, reflection, and our Vision Cast for 2024. Okay. Now, what is Vision Cast? I'm glad you asked. I'm supposed to be exiting, but since you asked, let me tell you what the Vision Cast is. Now, Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts. It's just that we are a motorcycle ministry, and so every year what we do is we try to share with you what the Lord has laid on our hearts as it relates to ministry and the direction of the ministry. So if you join us for this here ride, you will get some of the inside insight as to what we will be endeavoring to do for 2024. We also take time for reflection. Our VP, one of the baddest VPs, Mr. Lowrider himself, will do a reflection of 2023, some of the highs and maybe even lows of the ministry, Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry. We'll share that. Yes, sir. MySpace Buster. You know, we can't forget our folks over there on MySpace, bro. I got a mean delay on my comments. I noticed that the other day, man. So my apologies for not getting them up to it. But Lowrider he will give reflection on the previous year or the year 2023, and then I will cast vision for 2024. Because we love riding motorcycles, but what we love more than riding motorcycles is we love more than the work of the Lord. So make sure you guys put this on your calendar. I know a lot of people, they do the first ride of the year. But if you don't and you want to ride the first day of the new year, by all means join us. We'll have a group leaving from Statesville heading down to Gastonia, and the kickstands up from Gastonia at 11 a.m. So if you want to just meet us there at the kickstands up location, that's fine. If you're in the Statesville, Mooresville, surrounding areas, and you want to catch up to ride down to the kickstands up location, then hit me up and we'll share the or meet up space or right. Look at him, man. God bless you and heaven smile on you, man. We out of here.
State to state, coast to coast, man. Make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah. More than
I'm not gonna say he a pathological liar or nothing like that, because it ain't right to call a man a liar, you know, but I'm not gonna say he a pathological liar or nothing like that, because it ain't right to call a man a liar, you know, but he telling me that the Black Whoa, what's your bike name?
Fox.
Foxy?
Foxy, that's her name.
Okay, so he telling me Foxy stock. Nah, he telling me she stock. I mean,
All
I've
I
been
gotta
rode
do is-
behind him, I don't know how many miles, and
Listen, I got something to keep me alive.
uh-huh,
You know, loud pipe save lives.
yeah.
And then I just got a mean right hand, man.
But
That's it. All gas, no brake.
all
baby.
gas, no brake.
All gas, no brake. We downshift. We don't hit the brake pedal.
Yeah.
I don't even think it worked. I ain't never used it.
Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope
I'm not
you
gonna say
ready
he
for
a
the show.
pathological liar or
Thanks
nothing like that,
for
'cause it ain't
tuning
right
in.
to call a man a liar, you know, but he telling me that
Kingdom alignment on
Black
assignment
Whoa.
for the king.
What's your
Hope
bike
you
name?
ready for the show. Thanks
Foxy?
for tuning in. Let's
Okay, so
go
he
for
telling
a
me
ride.
Foxy
Got my
stock.
specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast. Man, make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah, more than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah, more than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show, you know. Let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast. Man, make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah, more than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah, more than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show, you know. Let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast. Man, make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah, more than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah, more than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show, you know. Let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast. Man, make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah, more than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah, more than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show, you know. Let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast. Man, make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah, more than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah, more than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show, you know. Let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man. Make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah. More than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah. More than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. You know, let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man. Make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah. More than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah. More than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. You know, let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man. Make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah. More than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah. More than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. You know, let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man. Make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah. More than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah. More than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. You know, let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man. Make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah. More than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah. More than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. You know, let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man. Make no mistake, we are conquerors. Yeah, yeah. More than conquerors. We are conquerors, yeah. More than conquerors. Hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. You know, let's go. Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go for a ride. Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps up alive. I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight. We bout to level up. Catch us on the turnpike from city to city,